o'clock, you head north of Interstate 80 near Reno on Highway 447 for about 2 hours. So here's our starting point for the Fly Geyser tour. We're going as a caravan, a carpool, and that's our guide in the white car. Okay, we're lining up our carpool to go out to the Fly Ranch.
Okay.
About 20 miles. So. There's our first look at it. Fly Geysers. The Fly Geyser is on the private Fly Ranch, and fortunately our guides had the keys to the gate, and after letting us onto the property, we got a closer look at Fly Geyser on our way to the parking area where all the participants parked their cars.
Certainly. Okay.
Circle the wagons. The Fly Ranch is now owned by the Burning Man Project. These two water wells provided 20,000 gallons to the Burning Man Festival for dust abatement. The Fly Ranch property sometimes has wild horses grazing on it. Our guides pointed these two out south of us. Our hike took us to the top of a 12-foot dam that created a small reservoir, and from here we could see the Fly Geyser from a different angle.
I think they want to do conservation, and everything that they want to do, they want it to be sustainable. So that's why they partnered with us here at Friends of Black Rock High Rock. We usually do environmental stewardship and do a lot of our work out on these wonderful public lands all around us. But we're more than happy to help Burning Man to make sure these walks are successful. You get some environmental ethics, you have a good time, and then we can do things, volunteer projects to do things like make the trail, put gravel down so that the trail's better for the year round, and make weed management plans for some of the invasive species over by the geysers. The second thing they have to do is they have to do a certain amount of agricultural output per year. They've got a tax variance. So right now, way over yonder, there's some cattle pasturing. Right now, Burning Man works with one of the neighbor ranchers, and they've got a deal where the rancher pays them what they owe and the variance runs his cattle for the winter, and it's all fine. But moving forward, with all of the water here in this chunk of desert, they want to do things like end up on the cutting edge of organic, hydroponic farming. They want to do things like take the waste that you might leave in the compost toilets later on, and once it's been processed and it's safe to use for fertilizer, grow stuff with it. And the third thing they want to do is, much like the Burning Man event itself is really predicated on art, when they do development on this property, they want to make sure that it's beautiful. One example of that right behind us, you can see the pier. The pier was present on the Black Rock Playa at Burning Man for a number of years. The artist got sick of dragging it on and off. Since Burning Man is Leave No Trace, the artist was responsible for making sure everything got picked up. And he worked it out with the Burning Man Fly Ranch staff to have it installed here.
During our walk, the guide pointed out the Calico Mountains Wilderness area to the east. These mountains are named Calico because of the multicolored mineral deposits you can see in their slopes. The Fly Ranch property has many water holes on it with differing temperatures. Some are cold and others are near boiling.
I'm in love with the color scheme. The yellows, purple.
As we continued on the trail, we got another view of the Fly Geyser from the opposite side from where we parked.
So this one here is the Wizard. He's named because if you see him from the right angle, he looks like a little bit like a man in profile with a tall hat. He was started in 1918. There was a drilling attempt. We think they might have been looking for drinking water, but the water came out too hot and too fast. They couldn't cap the well, and then the minerals in the water started laying down and formed the geyser. He's still active, though he's much less active since 1964, when they made the same drilling mistake and started what became the main geyser on the property today. This one's still very active. We estimate it's growing perhaps 6 to 8 inches a year. I've noticed a few changes over the season, but nothing like I've seen with the little steam coming up from between the trees over there.
Over there.
And that one's Will's Geyser. It's named for Will Roger Peterson, who discovered it in 2012, and it grows at least 6 to 8 inches a year. It was
Wow.
noticeably taller from when I first came out last November to the second time we came out for training in March. And even to now, at the end of our season, you can actually see it from here where you couldn't at the beginning.
Wow.
There is a clearing and some trees. I'll get you a little bit closer to it last thing before we do sorry, photos. I told you I'd tell you a little bit more about hot spring safety. So if you'd like to come out on the deck and touch the water, you may. We do use this pool for bathing. If you work on the ranch, you can get rewarded with the chance to swim here. So for example, we bring our volunteers out about once a month, and we'll give them some other opportunities next season. Birders Without Borders that made the bridge, they did the work. They probably swam a little bit before they left. If you're interested in figuring out how to swim here or in volunteering with us or pursuing membership with our organization, talk to me, talk to Tara, or even talk to Sarah back at the office. We're more than happy to get you hooked up. So that said, let's test the water and then go up to see the little geyser, and then he'll have lots of time for photos.
So if you want to test the water, you just need to get stable so you don't fall in. Make sure
Okay.
you feel safe, and then you can just put your hand in and feel how warm it is.
Okay. Oh, there's a foundation over there.
There is, yeah.
Please only test it from the dock. The banks are very fragile. Don't fall in on it.
Yeah, so just make sure you're nice and stable, and then you can reach right in there.
It's just a little warm.
Yeah, it's not cold, it's not boiling. It's
After visiting this warm spring on the Fly Ranch property, we followed the trail on to Will's Geyser, which is the third geyser on the Fly Ranch property, and along the way we could see the north side of Fly Geyser. This is Will's Geyser. It was discovered in 2012. It has hot water coming out of the top, and it's building up at the rate of 6 to 8 inches a year. There's Bob and Mark, right by the Fly Geyser. There's Bob looking at the Fly Geyser. 20 miles north of Gerlach, Nevada. We just went on the tour. We're the last ones, not surprising. There's the boardwalk and a platform, you can look at it, and there's Mark. There's Bob. This is the walk up to boardwalk. Along Fly Geyser. And then there's even a platform. Photographer at work. He said photographer at work. And we go up. And we can see the geyser. Well, after years of knowing about this geyser and wanting to come see it, we finally have arrived. Fly Geyser on the Fly Ranch, Northern Nevada. The name geyser technically should refer to a geothermal feature that has a quiet phase and then an eruption, a quiet phase, and an eruption. This one is in a continuous state of spewing water, so it may not be technically a geyser, so we're thinking we should offer the name Fly Fountain as an alternative name to geyser, since it might not technically be a geyser, but it's still something to behold. Now enjoy these views of the Fly Geyser. Sadly, someone tried to damage this feature by shooting at it, and that's why there's a brown spot on the south side. You can also see collapsed material in the pool below.